Aloha, this is Matt Darnell with ComTel.Cloud. Let's just get this straight. This is going to be pretty technical and dive pretty deep into the webhooks, and they're just not working right for me. Something that I think should be real simple is a little bit difficult, and it's not working. So if you can help me with this, I would really appreciate it. Let's dive right in. So this all started about 2 months ago when I was getting a demo, and the prospect asked if someone scans a fob that has been denied in the system, can you make that nice little UniFi speaker make a noise? And of course, I said, sure, no problem. So we get the deal, we get the sale, and I put that in the handoff notes, and the engineers told me yesterday that, hey, that's not very easy to do, and they couldn't do it. And I didn't believe them, so I set up the demo kit, and it is a lot harder, and we can't make it work. So definitely need your help in figuring this out before I go really deep here and start doing packet captures. In Access, you're able to set an alarm, pretty simple, that we just call it bad badge. And when it's activated, what causes it to activate is when there is invalid credentials or no permission. So that goes ahead and activates it. Now, and we have it here just on the front door, again, for our demo kit. And by the action, though, I just assumed that you could just say, make a noise on the UniFi Protect horn. Now, the deeper you get in, the more you realize how little integration there is between Protect and Access. They're really completely separate applications. But we can do a webhook. So, and the way that you do a webhook is so whenever this trigger happens, it sends just sends a post message to this URL with these headers and everything. So if I go over to Protect and I look in the alarm panel and I go in there and I say bad badge, we created this. So if I go into bad badge, I can see that it's activated by a webhook. So the plan would have been when someone scans a banned fob or a card or something, Access would send a HTTPS message out that would activate the webhook in this alarm, which would then play a sound, the siren, and have. Unfortunately, it does not happen. Here is where it tells you where you go to trigger that link, and basically it's just the IP address of the UCG Max that's running Protect and Access, and it's got this trigger ID on the tail end there. Now we do have an API key, and we have that done, and it's going to go. So just to show you how we've tested so far, you notice that you probably picked up in Access when I look at that alarm and that it's not going to a local address. The webhook goes to this webhook.site, and anytime you do with the webhooks, webhook.site, whether it's Home Assistant or whatever you're doing, you definitely got to know about that site, because basically anytime you refresh this, or this is a unique, a random kind of a thing, you just put this in as your target, and it's going to give us all kind of information. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take this fob, I am going to scan it here, invalid, and you can see Access instantly set that out to the web to this site that I gave it, and it's got the API key, and it has this content down here that this must be an Access alarm ID, and it says alarm bad badge was triggered. Well, that's great. So now what we can do is, let me show you what we're able to do. Let me open a command prompt here, and I wrote real simple, just curl, I think it's called horn, horn.bat, and we'll take a look at it, but it just manually sends out that. And if I go here, you can see that there's been a new, they're both post messages. Now if you look at them, this ID is different because that's unique for every call that comes to this, but the order is different, but that really doesn't matter. But contact length is 94, because this is the one that I manually generated through a curl command, through this right here. I just ran this batch file, and it's got the alarm ID, all that stuff that is sent because this is the one that Access sent, and it's got, it's 94 bytes. Here's what it is. This is the one that I manually sent. It's got the X API key, the content type, accept host, and if you pause it and go back and forth, you'll see they are identical in what they do. So I'm generating the same exact message, not same exact, close enough. It's got the API key in there, it's got the right header, it's got everything there. So now what I can do is if I go into Access and this URL, this here is the URL that you would get out of Protect. This right here. So I'm going to put that in there, save that. And I'm going to change my same script here. Whoops, let me go back here. So this horn.bat, instead of sending it out to the webhook.site, I'm just going to send it to local there. Let me save that. Now you'll notice when I run this same script, so instead of going to the webhook.site, I'm going to go locally here. I don't know if you can hear it, but the alarm just went off. So when I go back here and I go to Protect, and that happens, like I click Protect and I get thrown back into Access. And it says less than a minute ago. I mean, it literally was just triggered. And if I do that again here, less than a minute ago. So sending this packet here, not packet, but this line, this web request, this post with that API, and we know it's exactly that. We know it's close enough to be the same because when I point them both to the cloud, I can compare them, and they are the same API key, the same address. And now what I can do is if I take this and I just ding, I hear invalid credential, but the alarm does not go. Right? So I know, I can't imagine it's Access that is the problem, because whenever I point this to the cloud, it immediately sends to the webhook.site. I mean, at 100%, it absolutely works. And whenever I manually send this to Protect, 100% of the time, the alarm goes off. So I have extreme confidence in that Access is sending it out, and extreme confidence when Protect receives it, it will do its thing. Now, they all are on the same thing. One other thing I tried just to see what the issue is, instead of putting the IP address of the system, I just did the local host, thinking maybe if I just did it that way, it would work. Well, let me just scan again.
Scan card again. Invalid credential.
Yeah, it just, no matter what I do on this part here, bad badge, no matter where I send it, it's just not being received in Protect. Now, I don't know. I can't imagine it's a rule or firewall. I mean, it must be something. I do not want to have to put in like just maybe another UniFi device, so that if I ran Access on a different IP address, it's going to come in through the WAN like I am here. Because if I look here, I mean, I'm on the same subnet as this 10.100.101.76 as the device. So I bet you if I ran Access on like a Cloud Key Plus or something, it would work, right? So I logged in through SSH and couldn't see anything in the log. I went to var log, looked around, nothing being updated. I did a real quick packet capture, here on the UCG Max, and nothing really stuck out to me as far as going in and out, no matter how I did that. So if you know why that's happening. Again, I would be really grateful before I open up a ticket with UniFi and kind of go down that that route. But yeah, for some reason, it just does not work from access to protect on the same piece of equipment. Would love your help. Please let me know. Put it right down there in the comments. If you have anything you want me to try, anything I can do that you can think of that I didn't think of, there's probably a billion different things. But before we start going really deep into something that I don't think you should have to go that deep on, there should be an access, a way to directly talk to and activate the protect items. They need a much better integration between the two. Because even if it is just webhooks, if they would have worked perfectly, it's harder than it should be with the webhooks. So please give me a hand. Would love to hear your solution. Aloha.